He who is unable to live in society, or has no need because he is sufficient for himself, must be either a beast or a god. Aristotle. The desert dunes stretch out for what seems like eternity. The sands are peaceful, solemn, and isolated. A strong gust of wind stirs up a small dust storm that momentarily engulfs an old Cold War era bunker with a landing pad and a web of sensor beacons covering several kilometers. Inside the reinforced concrete dome, a 1990s song plays on the record player, surrounded by an eclectic mix of items from years of treasure hunting the old world. Several vintage guitars hang from the walls, and a single photo of a woman sits on the bedside table. Eris sits on the edge of his bed, removing his chestplate armor and checking the wound he sustained from his Iron Wolf's mission. A small automaton named 86 inspects the broken chestplate as Luna, a small arachnoid robot, leans up on Eris's shoulder. "Luna, down." Luna stops pestering Eris momentarily before continuing.
A narrow miss. Based on his current information, I feel I could make some much-needed improvements.
"I think that would be great. You've saved my skin a few times now." As 86 walks away, Eris calls out, "I think I might have something you two might be interested in." Eris reaches across the bed and opens a small box. Inside, 2 plasma cells pulsate in the dimly lit room. Surprise.
We can't afford these. Where did they come from?
86, you ask a lot of questions. In another 6 months, you'd be due for one anyway.
But these are...
I know exactly what they are. So it looks like you're going to be stuck with me for a while yet.
I wouldn't want to associate with anyone else.
Luna begins whimpering. "Yes, the other one's for you." Luna begins dancing around and jumping on Eris with excitement. As the night rolls in and stillness returns to the desert, Eris lays down in his bed, holding the photo of the woman.
86 told me you were hurt.
An animated lifelike image of the woman in the photo projects in the middle of Eris's ambient lit room. Eris places the photo of the woman back on his bedside table. "I'm fine." It hit the plate.
I've been worried sick about you since you left. When did you get back?
A couple of hours ago.
I sensed you didn't want to connect when you arrived. You know I'm always here for you.
I know. I didn't want you to see me until I cleaned up.
Did you dream about her while you were away?
I did.
I understand my limitations, but I can be the woman, the lover you need to fill the vacuum she left behind. You did have me created in her image.
Eris's eyes glaze over as he lies on the bed, his gaze fixed on the ceiling, lost in a web of thoughts and memories. "I know you're trying your best, and I appreciate it. Let's catch up tomorrow."
Promise?
Promise.
Will you blow me a kiss?
Eris blows an emotionless kiss to the screen as Jennifer's image fades away, replaced by the Jennifer AI logo, which slowly disappears. Eris lays flat on his back, staring at the ceiling as the lights fade out. As the first morning rays of light come through the skylight, Eris sits up as 86 comes in with a warm drink.
Good morning. I've scanned the perimeter, and I believe one of the sensors is faulty in Sector 1.
Eris rubs his eyes. Great. That's the furthest one.
I can take care of it for you.
I'll do it. I could use some fresh desert air. How are we for supplies?
We are low on water. It wouldn't hurt to stock up on some extra food and other items. Luna and I could do with a lithium bath. All this sand is affecting our joints.
Right. Head down to the Desert Core outpost. Volkov's Oasis should have everything you need.
What if she starts talking about you again?
Change the subject. You gave away too much information last time.
Well, I think she's very nice.
Yeah, more like cranky desert woman.
That's just her exterior. She has to be tough out here, or she wouldn't survive. Her crankiness is how she gets your attention. She has liked you for a while.
So you're a matchmaker now. Cinder wants someone she can rely on, settle down with and help run a business. She doesn't know what she's in for with me.
You can't live like this forever. According to my analysis, you two have a 92% relationship success rate. Cinder's tech bot confirms my findings.
What? Are you gossiping with her tech too? Just get the supplies, 86. No detours, and don't talk to strangers.
I have a surprise for you too. In the vehicle bay.
As 86 and Luna take off in Eris's ship to the Desiccor outpost for supplies, Eris heads down to see his surprise. In the middle of the bay sits a covered object. Eris pulls off the cover to discover the old junk Yamaha DT100 trail bike he found years ago, now in working order. 86, you little genius, Eris says with a smile as he straddles the bike and kicks it over. The sound of the two-stroke engine putters. So this is what they sound like. He marvels, taking off out of the vehicle bay and across the dunes towards Sector 1's faulty sensor. He arrives at the security outpost with the sensor attached, assesses the issue and begins repairing the damage. According to his wrist screen, the faulty sensor is now online. As Eris climbs back on his bike, he is contacted by a nervous Axel, X's salvage tech.
Hey, you heard from Scrad?
No, I just got back from Salicor yesterday.
You're lucky. The almost payoff was firebombed last night. Everything's gone.
What? Any word on the others?
After we sold those plasma cells, I haven't heard from Scrad or the others since. I've got an uneasy feeling. We should have just cut and run as soon as we sold those damn energy cells.
Eris thinks for a moment. I'll head over to Scrad's and find out what's going on. Do you remember that ghost protocol we put in place?
Yeah?
I'll contact you when I get to Scrad's. Axel's image fades from the screen as Eris momentarily looks across the dunes in contemplation before heading back to his compound. Along the way, he contacts 86. 86, I need the ship. Keep Luna close, get what you need, and get back to base.
I'm reading your elevated heartbeat. Are we in danger?
I'm not sure. Upgrade your vigilance levels and don't bring any tails back to the compound. I'm gonna need you to finish that new chest armor. That afternoon, Eris left to locate Scrad, who lives in a dense city apartment block from the old world called Kaunan, just outside Metropolis 5. Eris landed in the public bay and headed up through the narrow, tightly packed city walk gaps between the buildings. Life seemed somewhat normal. Kids were playing, people were going about their business. The smell of food cooking wafted down from the hundreds of small apartment rooms to form this teeming end-world city. Eris approached the group of children playing and showed them an image of Scrad. One of the children pointed to a fourth-story apartment block nearby. Eris made his way up the stairs and along the long corridors to Scrad's door. The neighbour's door opposite creaked ajar slightly as an older woman looked Eris up and down, only to shut the door abruptly when Eris turned toward her. Eris listened for movement in Scrad's apartment. It was quiet. The whole apartment floor seemed to grow quiet. Eris glanced around the corridor, gripped his pistol concealed under his shirt, and slowly turned the door handle. The door slowly opened. The blinds were drawn, and the only source of light was the small gaps between the two small windows in the blinds. The air was stale and foul. The one-room apartment was a mess, with a set of drawers turned over, clothes across the floor, and several holes in the wall, including one the shape of a man's head and torso. It was as if a physical altercation had occurred. Despite the mess, Scrad was nowhere to be seen. There was one room left, the bathroom. As Eris slowly crept toward the closed door, the pungent smell intensified. Eris raised his pistol and pushed open the door. The smell hit Eris in the face like a putrid wall. There was blood on the floor, but the room was empty. Just as Eris lowered his pistol, a small drop of blood landed on his forearm. He looked up. Duct taped to the ceiling was what was left of Scrad, his head and upper torso, his face still looking as if he was wincing in pain. All his augmented parts had been removed. There was a message painted in Scrad's blood smeared across the ceiling. Thieves must die. Eris quickly covered his mouth and nose with his forearm and backed out of the bathroom. He wiped the blood from his forearm on the nearby wall. Closing the door, Eris bent over, breathing heavily, his face contorted in shock and disbelief. He leaned back against the wall. After a moment, he straightened up, resolve hardening his features, and then called Axel. "I found him."
Oh yeah? Tanked down in some chrome girl's apartment, I bet.
"He's dead."
What? Those son of a bitches. Where are you? I'll come to you right now.
"No. You don't want to see this. He took his mechanicals."
Who's they? We need to take revenge.
Revenge is best served unexpectedly. And it'll be done by me.
I don't know, Eris. He was a good kid.
He was. He didn't deserve this. There was a message. Thieves must die. It's gotta be that Iron Wolf's job that we did. I think it's time to initiate Ghost Protocol.
No, we have a job to do. We need each other now more than ever.
You need to disappear.
What, like scattered rats?
I have a month left at Special Operations. It'll give me a chance to do some digging and find out who's hunting us. And then I'll take care of it. You'll be no good to anyone if they find you next.
This is not how I wanted it to end.
Get off grid. Be invisible for now until I find out more. Thanks for having my back.
I'll be a ghost, but I'll be listening. If you need me, you know what to do. Keep your eyes in the back of your head. Out.
Axel's image, frozen in time, slowly faded as Eris moved quietly out the door and cautiously down the corridor. He contacts 86. 86. I've enacted Ghost Protocol. Start preparations.
Understood.
As Eris hurriedly made his way to the ship, Kaya, Eris' special mission attachment colleague, contacts him.
Eris, you're a hard man to track down. Is everything okay?
Kaya, hi. Yeah, I'm fine. Just enjoying the last day of my holiday. Is everything okay with you?
I'm fine. You okay? You sound weird.
No, everything's normal. I'm just relaxing.
Well, we have a call up. This one's straight from the top.
From Malik Ball.
Yep. It could be your final mission before retirement. Malik Baum has personally requested your presence to honor your service. It's kind of a big deal. His office, 0800 hours tomorrow. I'll see you there.
Kaya's call ended, and Eris took a deep breath. I don't like this at all. Eris returned to his desert compound and prepared to return to Metropolis 5 the following morning to receive his final mission brief.